I don't know if this is going to be the start of another video, but if it's the start of another video, welcome back. Good to see you. And my goal is in this video to get the roof higher. You can see that the knot that I've used to balance the roof either side is hitting the D-shack. So I can't raise it any higher, but that's not what I'm talking about. I actually am going to need the use of my block and tackle down here. And so what I'm trying to do is get myself prepared for the removal of this tub, because I've come up with a bit of a plan of how I'm going to be able to do this as a one-man solo operation. So I've been moping about all morning trying to build up the motivation to tackle this. I've come up with, so I've got two different plans. The one plan that I'm going to be sharing with you today, and we'll get on some footage, is getting this roof sitting up higher in my rafters so I can effectively get rid of that rope set up and also get rid of my block and tackle. Now the only obstacle I haven't yet figured out is how I'm actually going to get it up higher. But we'll work that out as we go along. So bear with me. Being a long-standing member of the Frugal and Resourceful Bastards of New Zealand Society, I don't have any materials available to help me fulfill that plan, which I just shared about getting the roof up. This fence is pretty much fallen down. Although Snow is a good girl, and she's gone over here a couple of times, but she learns quick. She told her she's not allowed. This leads to the back of my property. This is all my property out here, but it's not fenced. If she wanted to wander up this way, probably about 20 meters or so, she'd be on the road. What I'm going to do now is pull this down, then erect a temporary fence that will prevent Snow, hopefully, from then wanting to go that way. Hello little pups, speak of the devil and she shall appear. What you up to, gorgeous? If we head out this way, which leads us down to the creek, which she loves, but we'll go there. No, stay, you stay, good girl, stay. Sit, good girl, sit. Come on, don't show me up on camera, you usually sit straight away. Stay, as long as she stays. So I got out here with the chainsaw and I've cut these bits down, and I've got to drag it over to the wood pile, the fire pile. So I've got a bit of organising in here to do. And I thought, oh well, once I pull that bloody part of the fence down, we can get stuck into that. The goal is I'm going to try and open this up and make going down to the creek a lot easier and more enjoyable. I just found a rugby ball in the scrub. So this is Snow's new toy. Come on, baby. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, I was going to take a photo there. Part of the creed of being a member of the Frugal and Resourceful Bastards of New Zealand Society is to use what you've got on hand. She's loving that rugby ball. Beauty. So already I've got myself a nice reusable bit of timber. Yeah, it's probably rotten and crap and all that sort of stuff, but it's not like I'm going to build a house with it. And a couple of reusable hex screws. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy demoing stuff, because I know it can be hard work, but it can be also very rewarding work. And I enjoy demoing stuff. especially when it comes out easy like that. So there's another bit of timber I can use. Knock those nails out, I'll be able to reuse them. Right, well, provided I don't kill myself and it fall on me, 3 screws is holding this on. We're free. Job done. Wow, I've disconnected it, haven't I? That's all I've done really. Oh well, that's it done now. So, you know, to a lot of years it might seem like a wasted, pointless exercise. Some years will get it, some years won't, that's fine. I'm not trying to justify myself to anyone. Next job now is to get that roof, the Land Rover roof, secured in the roof trusses of my garage. I've put a screw in each end. And the goal is to get my roof up higher into the rafters so I can use my block and tackle again. What I'm going to get onto is removing the tub. I've had a good look since the last video where I parked the Landy over there to have a bit of a look underneath to see where the nuts and bolts and everything was holding it together. I came to the conclusion the other day that people who want to fix up old Land Rovers, there's something wrong with them in the head. I did come out to do this yesterday and I put a little bit of thought into it, but the old noggin wasn't working too well, so I just went back inside. But I was determined to get onto it today because I'm a little bit behind in my videos. I did edit a video, so I'll link that in this one probably. It's for my YZF 600 Thundercat motorbike, which I'm repairing from fire damage. So I've done some editing, but I'm not too happy, so I'm going to do some re-editing there and get that one up hopefully today. But this one here and what I've done the other day should be up on Sunday. And kind of moving forward, my goal is at the moment, and this will be for the foreseeable future, like the next 3 months at least, is to load up, because I'll only be exclusively working on my Land Rover and my motorbike until they're ready to sell, basically. And so the Land Rover, yep, that'll sit there quite nicely. I might just move it over a bit. Right, that's good. The Land Rover is going to take a lot longer. A motorbike shouldn't take too long. And then it will be exclusive on the Land Rover, and what I'll do then, hopefully, once the motorbike's out of the picture, is upload 2 Land Rovers a week until the Land Rover's done. Now, it's coming up 1:30. I didn't get out here until about 1:45, and the reason for that is because I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and he's basically given me, well, he said that I can, he said that, 15 hours a week for work, which is probably realistic. It's kind of, I mean, yeah, it depends on the sort of work, of course, but, what I've been doing out here, it seems like I get a lot done, but to me it doesn't seem like I get a lot done. I don't know how it actually translates, to be fair. All I know is that I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to keep an eye on things with my own body to make sure that I'm not overdoing it. Burnout's a hell of a thing. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, especially if you're an industrious type and productive person usually in your life. And, some days, like yesterday, for example, the motivation was there to do all this. That's why I came outside. But when I got outside, the energy levels weren't, and the brain just wasn't braining. So this is going to be a little bit more fiddly than that other one. That other one went up a lot nicer. And what I'm trying to... Smokey and the Bandit. Darko, you'll be missing a head. In here. That's the end of the disaster. Ah, fuck. Well, shit's cracked, but hopefully not the screen. Well, that was a bad idea, putting it out here in the wind. Oh well, the production costs just went up. Check the old fuel canister. Alright, plenty of fuel. Let's stick the hose down there a bit further. Let's stick it in this way. Ah, we won't let it run. Take two. That's what happens when tiredness. Hey, you're just a tired bastard. Yeah, a bit more than that, but that is, I mean, everyone gets it right. Little things when you're tired. And when I used to be into the outdoors, well, I still am into the outdoors, but I guess what I'm saying there is when I used to be an instructor, and you know, I'd take people out to the bush and tramping and all that sort of stuff, and I used to call it homeitis, where you're on the last leg of whatever it is you're on, you're pushing, and all you think, you're in your mind, you're already home. You're just looking forward to that hot shower. You've been out in the bush for 5 days, or you've been down the river, you know, 5 times that day, and you're doing your last run and you think you got it all solved, but right, you know, the last 20 minutes there's some pretty technical rapids. It's across anything to do with the wilderness where you're tired, and that's where people just not only get hurt, but they end up losing their lives. So then it transfers into a setting like this where the results don't usually end up as disastrous, but that's exactly the same thing. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm just about done. This next bit should be a lot easier because I'm just going to use the ladder and push it up with my arms, because now the Landy's out of the way. Like, I'm actually going to have to back it back in, I think, just to help give myself a bit of a lift, but I'll do that once I get this ladder under it for the first part. And yep, forgot about the rag and the carby, which is just to keep, you know, shit from going in while I'm not around. Well, thanks for joining this week's episode of World's Dodgiest Carpenters. I can't even call myself a carpenter. I don't have any carpentry skills. But, I couldn't even cut the ends straight. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, baby. This was just, I'm pretty sure this is a cross saw. I honestly know nothing about woodwork, but I'm keen to learn. I was actually talking to AI about it today and going over a few ideas. This is just a cheap, I've had this for years, but that timber there, where the other piece split when I put the nails through it, that's a lot harder than this timber, the 2x4 old fence railings. But the saw cut the fence railings a little easier, but I need to get better at that. This is bent. I have many times tried to, that bent one day, it caught and boom. And I've tried many times to straighten it. It just doesn't want to go pure straight. But a good craftsman never blames his tools, So it's just my lack of experience, really. But in saying that, what I've done today is working, and it's solid. I'm happy with it. I'm going to move this back in just in time. It's just starting to rain, so I better get this in quickly. So I'm sorry I didn't get much more done. I am blowing. I've done an hour and a half extra than what I planned, so I've done about 4.5 hours today. I've found with what this burnout stuff is that the best day I've had so far was a good probably 6 hours worth of work over maybe a 10-hour, day where I was awake through to sort of like shutting down for the night and chilling on the PC for the evening and going to bed. Footage here is over 2.5 hours of raw footage there, so and I paused it a lot, and as I say, I went in and had a break. But sometimes you just need this last little, I'm just about there to push you through, but sometimes it's also dangerous, like what I was sharing before about homeitis sort of thing. That's when you injure yourself or you make mistakes and you damage something. Out in the bush, you either injure yourself horribly or you die. So that's that done. The roof's done. That's off my mind now. I don't need to worry about it until it comes time to tidy it up, paint it, get it ready to go back on the rig. So for next time, what I'll be doing, seat box out, fuel tanks out, tub undone as much as I can without getting a grinder. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here. You encouraged me to keep going, so everyone's winning. Have a good one. I should give it a good whack and go, that ain't going nowhere. But I'm scared.